You know what's strange about the human mind? A conversation can end at 4 in the evening and somehow still be replaying in your head at 3 in the night. Not in real life. Inside your head, you replay the tone, the pause before they answered. That one sentence you wish you had said differently. And suddenly your brain turns into an investigator, examining a 5-minute interaction as if it were evidence from a crime scene. Most people think this is just overthinking. But psychologically, something much deeper is happening. Your brain treats social experiences differently from ordinary events. Because for most of human history, survival depended on belonging. Being accepted by the group meant safety. Being rejected meant danger. So even today, your nervous system still monitors social interactions very carefully, especially the emotionally unclear ones. That's why your brain can ignore 20 normal conversations, but obsess over one weird look, one dry text, one awkward silence. And nighttime makes this stronger. During the day, your attention is occupied. Noise, notifications, work, movement. Your brain doesn't have enough silence to process unresolved emotions properly. But at night, everything slows down, and the mind finally opens old tabs that were running in the background all day. That's why people suddenly remember embarrassing moments from years ago while trying to sleep. Not because the memory is important now, but because emotionally, your brain never fully closed it. What makes this exhausting is that replaying conversations feels productive. It feels like you're figuring something out. But most of the time, you're not solving anything. You're searching for certainty in situations that don't provide certainty. Think about how many times your brain has asked questions like, did they mean that negatively? Why did their energy change? Did I sound stupid? Maybe I talk too much. What if they secretly dislike me now? Your mind keeps replaying the moment because uncertainty creates tension. And psychologically, the brain hates unfinished emotional situations. So it keeps returning to them, hoping for closure. But here's the problem. Human interactions are rarely clear enough to give perfect closure. People are inconsistent. Sometimes they're distracted, sometimes tired, sometimes cold for reasons unrelated to you. But an overthinking mind personalizes everything. It assumes if something felt off, it must mean something. So now the brain starts creating theories, and the more emotionally sensitive you are, the deeper this spiral becomes. This happens a lot to people who grew up feeling misunderstood, criticized, or emotionally uncertain, because they learned early that small changes in people's behavior matter. Tone mattered, mood mattered, silence mattered. Their nervous system became trained to monitor emotional shifts, not consciously, automatically. So, as adults, they become hyper-aware of social details other people barely notice. A delayed reply, a shorter sentence, less enthusiasm, different eye contact. To someone else, it's nothing. To an anxious brain, it feels like danger. And this is important to understand. Replaying conversations is usually not about the conversation itself. It's about what the conversation triggered emotionally. Fear of embarrassment, fear of rejection, fear of being misunderstood, fear of not being enough. The conversation becomes a mirror. And sometimes what hurts isn't what happened, but what you think it says about you. Notice how your mind rarely replays moments where you felt fully secure. It replays uncertainty, because certainty allows the brain to relax. Uncertainty keeps it alert. That's why emotionally unavailable people often stay in your mind longer than emotionally consistent people. Your brain becomes trapped, trying to solve them. There's also another reason nighttime overthinking feels so intense. At night, emotions become louder. because distractions become quieter. During the day, logic has competition. At night, feelings have the microphone. And tired brains are worse at emotional regulation. Psychologists have noticed that sleep deprivation increases emotional reactivity, meaning things genuinely feel heavier at night than they do the next morning. That's why a situation can feel emotionally catastrophic at 1 a.m. and strangely manageable at 10 a.m. Your brain chemistry changes your perspective more than you realize. But here's where people accidentally make things worse. They think, if I just analyze this enough, I'll finally feel calm. So they keep replaying. Again. But repetitive thinking doesn't always create clarity. Sometimes it deepens emotional exhaustion. Because the brain starts confusing rumination with problem solving. They feel similar, but they're different. Problem solving leads somewhere. Rumination goes in circles. And social media has amplified this massively. Now conversations don't really end anymore. You can reopen them instantly. Reread messages. Check activity status. Analyze response times. Look at old photos while emotionally overwhelmed. Technology gave anxious minds unlimited access to emotional triggers. Years ago, people at least had distance. Now your brain can revisit the same emotional wound 20 times before sleeping. What's ironic is that people who replay conversations the most are often the people who care deeply about others. They want to be understood. They want harmony. They want a connection. But somewhere along the way, caring turned into monitoring, and monitoring turned into mental exhaustion. Eventually, you realize something important. Not every interaction deserves a courtroom-level investigation. Some moments are awkward simply because humans are awkward. Some people misunderstand you temporarily. Some conversations feel weird for reasons you'll never fully know. And your mind has to learn that uncertainty is survivable. Because if you demand perfect reassurance from every interaction, your brain will never fully rest. A healthier mind doesn't try to control every social outcome. It accepts that being human includes misunderstandings, imperfect moments, and unfinished emotional experiences. That's normal. What destroys people mentally is not the conversation itself. It's the endless replaying afterward. And maybe the goal isn't to stop caring completely. Maybe the goal is simply learning when to let a moment end. To stop reopening emotional tabs your mind keeps refreshing at midnight. Because some thoughts don't need deeper analysis. They just need distance. And sleep.